Jannik Sinner's recent loss to Carlos Alcaraz at Roland Garros sent shockwaves across the tennis world. Fans, analysts, and former champions watched in awe and heartbreak as the Italian sensation fell just short of claiming the coveted French Open title. Among those left visibly distraught was none other than Maria Sharapova, the five-time Grand Slam champion and global icon of the sport. In an emotional nod to the intensity of the final, Sharapova took to Instagram to share a raw, behind-the-scenes moment. Her post showed a picture of her viewing setup, a handheld device resting on a table, streaming the final moments of the titanic clash. On the screen, a solemn Jannik Sinner stood frozen, his face etched with the pain of defeat. It was more than just a match, it was an emotional rollercoaster. Carlos Alcaraz's victory didn't come easy. The 21-year-old Spaniard had to dig deep after dropping the first two sets against the world number 1. The final scoreline of 4-6, 6-7, 4-7, 6-4, 7-6, 7-3, 7-6, 10-2 tells only part of the story. The real tale lies in the unrelenting determination of both men, the five-set drama that unfolded over 5 hours and 26 minutes, the longest French Open final in the tournament's storied history. From the moment the match began, the tension was palpable. Sinner came out swinging, sharp and focused, taking the opening set with clinical precision. The second set was even tighter, eventually going to a tiebreak, which the Italian also secured. 2 sets to love up, and the dream was within reach. But Alcaraz, who has made a habit of staging comebacks, was far from done. With the roar of the crowd behind him and fire in his eyes, he mounted a sensational comeback, starting with a break in the third set. Slowly, momentum shifted. The physicality of the match intensified. Rallies extended. The level of play soared. Sharapova, who knows all too well the agony and ecstasy of Grand Slam finals, couldn't hide her emotions. Her Instagram post didn't need a long caption. The image spoke volumes. Her connection to the game, to its rising stars, and to the pure unpredictability of tennis was evident in that fleeting moment. A handheld screen, a frozen frame of Sinner's anguish, and a global audience feeling every second of it. By the fourth set, Alcaraz had turned the tide. Another tiebreak, this time in the Spaniard's favor. 2 sets all. What followed was perhaps one of the most intense final sets Roland Garros has ever witnessed. Both players traded breaks, held their nerve, and fought for every single point like their careers depended on it. The final set tiebreak was decisive. Alcaraz took control early, jumping to a commanding lead. He played with maturity beyond his years, fearless and composed. Sinner, visibly fatigued but refusing to back down, pushed until the very end. But destiny had a different plan. As Alcaraz collapsed on the clay, victorious, the world erupted. Yet in many corners of that world, there was also heartbreak. For Sinner, it was a loss that will sting, but also one that cements his place among the elite. He may not have lifted the trophy, but he left the court as a warrior, one whose time will surely come. Maria Sharapova's gesture was symbolic. A legend of the women's game, watching a new generation write their story. Her quiet moment of solidarity with Sinner reflected what so many fans were feeling: heartbreak, pride, and hope. Her admiration wasn't just for a performance, it was for the courage, the grit, and the emotional depth of the battle we had all witnessed. As social media buzzed with reactions, tributes poured in for both players. Tennis fans, celebrities, and former champions praised the quality of the final. Many called it an instant classic. Some even suggested it was the beginning of a new chapter in men's tennis, one where Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner take the torch from the likes of Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic. For Sinner, this match will be both a lesson and a reminder. He proved he belongs at the highest level. He outplayed Alcaraz for 2 sets, matched him stroke for stroke, and never gave up even as the tide turned. His composure, shot-making, and mental fortitude won the respect of millions. Carlos Alcaraz, meanwhile, continues to astonish. At just 21, he has now won titles on hard, grass, and clay. His versatility, athleticism, and hunger set him apart. This French Open title is his 3rd Grand Slam, and arguably the most hard-earned. The young Spaniard didn't just win a match. He survived a war. The image of Alcaraz lifting the Coupe des Mousquetaires will remain iconic. But equally powerful is the image of Sinner, defeated yet dignified. And somewhere, in the quiet of her home, Maria Sharapova watched it all unfold, celebrating the spirit of tennis, and perhaps remembering her own battles on the same stage. This Roland Garros final was not merely about winners and losers. It was a celebration of sport, resilience, and human emotion. Sharapova's subtle but heartfelt social media post reminded everyone that tennis is not just about trophies, it's about moments. And on that Parisian evening, the world shared a moment that will live on for years. The echoes of that match will ring through Roland Garros for a long time. Fans who watched it live will remember the sweat, the sliding rallies, the heart-stopping tiebreaks. Coaches and young players will study it for inspiration. And somewhere, young kids with rackets in hand will dream of one day playing like Alcaraz or Sinner. Sharapova's expression of disappointment was not just about a player's loss. It was about the universal experience of investment in sport, of wanting something so badly, and feeling the hurt when it slips away. Her post made her fans feel less alone in their heartbreak. This French Open final wasn't just a tennis match. It was theater. It was a test of character. It was a passing of the torch. And for those who watched it, whether in stadium seats, on TV screens, or on a small handheld device like Maria Sharapova, it was unforgettable. Jannik Sinner may have left the court without the trophy, but he won the admiration of millions. His game, heart, and humility have made him a new favorite among fans. And with his talent, it's only a matter of time before he returns to a Grand Slam final. Carlos Alcaraz, for all his brilliance, knew he had to dig deeper than ever before. He didn't win by simply overpowering his opponent. He won by enduring, by adapting, by believing. It was a champion's performance, and a coming-of-age triumph. Sharapova's moment of quiet fandom showed that the magic of tennis touches everyone, champions and fans alike. She didn't need to speak. The image she posted said it all. Disappointment, respect, and the deep bond we all share through sport. In the end, tennis was the winner. The French Open delivered one of the greatest finals in history. And in the quiet aftermath, as the stadium emptied and the clay settled, the world reflected on what it had just witnessed. Maria Sharapova reminded us that even legends feel the pain of defeat. Even from afar, even in retirement. Because once you've lived tennis the way she has, you never stop feeling it. And when you see a young star like Sinner fall just short, your heart breaks with his. But if this match proved anything, it's that greatness is not defined by a single match. It's built over time, through victories and defeats, through battles that test your very soul. Sinner and Alcaraz both showed us that. And thanks to a single photo, shared by a tennis legend, we were all reminded of why we love this sport so deeply.